Have you ever felt bored when you exercised? Or did you ever think that you needed to do something else while you exercise, like play a game, check messages on your phone, or watch a show, or even have a conversation just to make it appealing for yourself? Or did you ever feel awkward when you were working out? Like you're not really sure what to do with yourself? Or did you ever notice that you were distracted while you were trying to exercise? Like instead of having really good form, you were thinking about something else. If you answered yes to any of those questions, then the first thing that we need to talk about is something I call feel. On page 92 of your playbook, you'll see this. And this is where you want to make notes. FEEL is an acronym where the F is for focus, the E is for engage, the other E is for effort, and the L is for listen. Of course, we have so much to cover, but if I was only able to teach you one thing, it would be feel, because it carried me through athletics all the way into my 40s, keeping me safe and healthy. Now, there were some times when I was playing athletically that I did get hurt because it was so common to be able to push that body past the threshold so hard. But in all of the years since I left the arena, I have not gotten hurt when I actually train in the gym or go for hikes or ride a bike with no hands. And that's because I'm always using feel. The whole feel thing is a huge reason why I've been able to actually hone my balance and agility, sculpt my muscles, and develop my strength the way that I have without taking any enhancers like steroids or just supplements like human growth hormones and testosterone boosters. Now, it's very common for people to actually ask me if I've ever done those things or used them to be able to maintain myself. And the final answer is no. I've never taken any enhancers because all I did is the things that you're going to learn here in Movement Mastery. And I fueled my body the way that I teach in phase 2, nourishment navigation, and then supported my mental focus with phase 1, champion activation. But to bring it back to movement and exercise, feel is a key factor of improving and enhancing gains while exercising safely and preventing injury. So if that sounds good to you, or if you'd like to actually accelerate how fast you get results, or if you'd like to be able to maintain and keep those results, then you do need to understand feel so that you can start using it every time that you move your body. So let's dive in and look at each of those concepts in more detail. When we say focus, what we mean is no multitasking and blocking out all distractions. And when we say engage, what we mean is muscle activation, intentional directing of your energy. When we say effort, what we mean is giving that effort, accomplishing the move, and driving your body through that particular movement that you're doing. And lastly, when we say listen, what we mean is listening to your body and doing quality reps. The reason why it's necessary for you to focus and not multitask when you're training your body is because there are so many distractions around you. If you're at home, it could be thoughts about needing to get back to somebody. If you're in a park, it might be starting to notice your attention gets pulled in the signs and sights of animals and families around you. If you're in a gym and it's busy, you might feel self-conscious or overwhelmed by how many people there are, or what they're wearing, or how much they're lifting. In any of those places, something could happen around you that throws you off and suddenly makes you lose concentration. Like this one time, very early in Jamie's first start in the gym, she was learning the concepts in movement mastery, and she was a true rookie. She was on the treadmill doing beginner dynamics. It was maybe the third time that she had ever done them on the treadmill. And without realizing it, she put her cell phone on the little tray in front of her in a kind of weird angle, and it was pretty unstable. So while she started running and speeding up, her cell phone started to get crooked and fall off the little tray. And instead of letting her phone get protected by the case and just bounce off the rubber surfaces, she tried to catch it. And in that moment, her feet got tangled. She forgot what she was doing and she fell on the treadmill and got pretty scraped up in the process. So I want to be really clear that she didn't fall because she couldn't do those physical movements. She could do the movements. She fell because her focus got pulled in the environment around her and away from her awareness of her body. And because she was still a rookie, she hadn't yet had enough of those opportunities to develop that muscle memory with all of these things. And she lost control in that moment. And that's why she fell and got scraped up. And soon we'll get into the essential topic about pain. And we'll discuss what the best thing is to do when something like that happens, and how to actually recover if you do fall. But I share this story because a lot of people can get injured when they're working out. And the main reason is because they lose control of their focus. And when their attention gets pulled into the environment around them, that's when they get hurt. So as I like to say, Don't let the distractosaurus get you. Your ability to block out distractions is the single largest strength that you will ever develop. No matter how strong your muscles get, your mind and your focus has to be stronger. Because when you have that level of ability to focus, you're aware of the things that actually prevent injuries, maximize results, and strengthen your ability to be unfazed, unbothered by whatever is happening around you. This is the foundation of how you actually navigate stressful situations. And I'm not just talking about in the gym environment, outdoors, or at home working out. I'm talking about real life. When you're at work, with your family, or even just checking out the news or scrolling social media, it is essential for you to be able to actually stay focused without getting frustrated by the many things around you so that you can actually use your time and energy more effectively, including having the time and energy to show up for your training sessions. Because remember, you don't just get to 4:30 in the afternoon and suddenly have no energy to work out or enjoy your family. When that happens, you're dealing with an energy leak that's actually started much earlier in the day. So if you haven't trained your ability to focus, then you're leaking energy without even noticing. So more than anything, it matters for you to learn how to get in the zone and block out distractions, because this is what allows you to become more efficient with everything that you do and have more time for your true priorities. Okay, so that's focus. Now let's talk about engage. The reason why it's necessary for you to engage or direct your energy and activate your muscles before you actually do the movement is because this is basically the final part of the preparation. And it is necessary to actually get the most out of the motion that you're about to do. Let me give you a couple of quick examples. If you're warming up with your dynamics routine, engaging could look like taking a moment to actually remember which movement you're gonna do and mentally reviewing the way that it works, then putting your body into the right form. Or if you're in the strength training portion of the complete workout, engaging could look like putting your body into the correct position, activating the right muscles that actually need to be used for that particular movement, and then picking up the weight. And we'll be going into more detail about how to activate the right muscles and identify correct form. But right now, just know that this is really important to be able to make sure that you actually spend time engaging. It's not something to skip, because this means that you're actually getting ready to take the action and make that move. You're focusing on which muscles you're going to activate, which joints you're going to use, which parts of your body you're going to move. But when you're engaging, you're only going to. You haven't actually done the move yet. It's almost like a second part of being safe. This is where you're actually double checking everything and making sure that you won't have a misfire. You're setting yourself up for a successful set. After you engage, then it's time for effort. This is when you actually do the movement. You're giving the effort that is necessary to do the motion. So for example, now is when you might actually lift the weight by pushing or pulling with your effort. During this time that you're actually giving that effort, you're flowing into the final part of feel, which is where you're actually listening to your body. Again, for injury prevention and for maximizing your results. You need to pay attention to your balance, your stability, your control, your grip, or where the weight is in your hand, and its position on your body. When you notice all of those things, that's what I mean by listening. And listening also helps prevent injuries, because at no point while you're training should you lose control, lose your balance, lose stability, or lose your grip. If any of that happens, it's because you're not listening. Even if you're training to the point of failure, which is a technique that some people use to train, you should never actually lose control. Basically, when you're listening, you're monitoring your quality, and you're only repeating more of the moves when you still have command of the move and you're aware that you're actually doing it successfully. Not being sloppy about it, and not just robotically going through the motions. When you listen, it means you can actually notice when you're losing control, or if your body is speaking to you in terms of pain. And later on, we're going to be discussing the two main categories of pain that are very important for you to actually distinguish between, so that you understand when to stop and reset as well. Now, you're going to hear us say only train success. And this means that you're only doing moves that are correct for what you want to accomplish. And it's necessary to do the moves correctly, because this is how you actually protect your body and make it possible to genuinely enjoy your time exercising and continue showing up as often as necessary to actively contribute to your health and longevity as a lifestyle. So that's a quick overview of FEEL: focus, engage, effort, listen. And one last thing I actually want to point out about the graphic on page 92 is that these four concepts actually stack on each other. Focus is first, and it extends all the way through. You never stop focusing when you're actually in your set. Next, you engage, and you continue while you focus. Then you put in the effort and maintain that while you listen to your body and what it is saying to you. When you do all of those four together, you create a feedback loop that actually keeps you safe and accelerates your results. And when you learn how to feel, you will bring the best to your workouts. This means that you won't get bored because you're busy paying attention to all of the small details that are there to notice. And you won't have time or energy to feel awkward anymore because you're too busy with the focusing, engaging, putting in the effort, and listening. I'm telling you, you get in tune with feel, and you'll know every time when you work out that you're doing an excellent job showing up for yourself, no matter how that workout went. This is why your ability to feel is a major key to your success in all of movement mastery. So stay focused and let's keep moving forward.